guys, welcome to the new video of Masters of Consulting.
Hi.
So Shravan and Anusha, you have recently got a very cute perfect baby, and we would like to know have some tips about how to own a dog or how to adopt a dog. Yeah. Can you start with what is the starting procedure to do this?
Yeah, glad you asked because since we got him, we were trying to research more about the dogs. It's been like a constant research, like a year or two. And even before doing the research, we first thought we will take some first-hand experience with the dogs. That's when we registered on some apps like Poshake and everything. And also constantly keep checking on Facebook if you can take care of somebody else's dog who is not in the city for some time. Then that's a good idea you get. What are the responsibilities of the dog? You have to take care even before getting one. And what is the size of the dog you are comfortable with? So with the size of the dogs, there comes more challenges. So that's how you need to know what you are getting into before getting one.
So initially, you have mentioned regarding an perfect app. So what is this app?
It's a app called as Poshake. So if you can register as a pet owner or someone who can take care of somebody's pet. So you can go there and check their ratings and what sort of experience they have with taking care of dogs. So you can basically text them or message them and see if they are ready to take care of your dog on the particular dates you want them to take care of. So yeah, it's a good community and it's also trusted. So you can basically go there and check.
Also, there are many groups, international groups and German groups where you can join, and some people will be looking for friendly faces and trustable people. So you can people try to generally meet you there, and if the dog likes you, then you're always welcome to take care.
Yeah.
So if you think of getting a small pup or a big one, based on that you can take care, and then you know what you are really getting into, how much energy you have to give for them, or like how much time of yours, so everything basically. So you can start with a few days, and sometimes people especially if they're going to India, maybe they can't take the pets with them for 1 month or 4 weeks, 3 weeks. So then you get to take care for a long time, then you really know what you're getting into.
You have a very cute Sheltie with you. So how did you decide on the breed?
It's basically because where I was working, the dogs were allowed, and my colleague used to get one of his Shelties to office, and that's when my first association with Sheltie happened, and I really loved them for how they are and their behavior and everything. Since most of us coming as an expat to Germany, it's understood that both of us will be working and going to office, so it's better for us to get a dog who can understand things as fast as they can, and they should be sociable, and then all these sorts of things will be very small, but it's very important for you to have a dog as an expat if you are in a foreign country, because back home you have your parents and everyone to take care of them when you are away, but here it's not the case. So that's how that was the first introduction for us to Shelties. And when we were thinking of getting our own puppy, our only question to answer for ourselves is, what if we go back to our home country? Will we be taking our dog with us? That question was yes, for sure. Nobody would say no for that. Yes. And if you have to take him there, will he be okay with the conditions in India or any other country? Because Germany, have 3 seasons, snow and everything. But back in tropical countries, it's always hot, or maybe some countries it's always cold. So you should check what breed is okay with all sorts of environment. And because we know Sheltie, that was the first thing we checked about Sheltie. Is he okay anywhere? And that was a green signal for us, like he's okay anywhere to be happy. So that's when we went forward and researched more about him. Like for suppose he stands 6th in his IQ. So basically what happens is, if you get a dog which is lower in this rank, you might have to spend a lot on their training. But we took it otherwise. Sometimes the higher IQ dogs might be a bit costlier, but we were okay with it because we had a good association with them. So that's when we decided, okay, it's Sheltie for us. As an expat, you know that we might go to our home country once in a year for a month or so. Even though there are some apps and also people who can take care of them, as a dog parent, you always have that constant fear within you. Like, is my baby okay? And that's when you decide if you want to take him on a vacation with you. For us, because he will be a medium-sized dog, Sometimes when the dogs are less than 8 kilos, including the crate which we take in, then they are allowed with you in the cabin. So that's a good sign. Hopefully he stays within 8 kilos. That's a healthy Sheltie. As a grown Sheltie, he should be around 8 or 8.5 kilos. So hopefully we can take him home when we are on a holiday. So he is with us all the time. That's one main point again.
We are allowed to take big breeds as well, like a Labrador or a Golden Retriever in the flights. But the thing is, he has to not come in the cabin, but they will put him in check-in area where there will be a AC and a particular area just for the pets. Normally they will be sedated, and then you have to train them as well. But there is a possibility that he wakes up in the middle of the flight and the dog is very scared, and then it might be a traumatic experience for them. So you have to prepare them for that as well. There is a way, like if you go to dog school, then they tell you how to train them for a flight, everything. So but yeah, it totally depends on how the dog is. Like Shravan mentioned, some dogs have good IQ, some dogs don't. It's also like humans, not all humans are very intelligent. Some are, we all have same brains, but it won't work the same way. So even though you might get a very high intelligent dog IQ with a good IQ, but he might not end up like that. So you have to be prepared for that as well. We try our best, of course, to make them very obedient and everything. So it's still left to them.
How expensive is it to own a dog here?
Yeah, if you are thinking of owning a dog, there are actually two ways to do that. One thing is you can go and talk to all the Tierheims close to you, or within Germany. If that is the case, you can also approach all the Tierheims within Europe, so that you find your home dog. Basically, here you find all sorts of rescue dogs, and with all sorts of sizes and ages and breeds. So for us, initially when we thought of getting him, we also visited a lot of Tierheims. And
visited in the sense it was pandemic, so it was only online or through calls.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Basically, you have to take appointments with the Tierheims and constantly keep checking with them if they have any new rescue dogs. And since we are as an expat, like I already mentioned we already had a criteria that these questions should be answered for us, like can we take him back to India, or what is the size of him. So we already had a description in our mind. Is there any dog which fits to this description? That's how we checked in all the Tierheims. Unfortunately, we didn't find any, and we were growing restless because of this, and we had to make a decision to get him from a breeder. So talking of a breeder, that's the second way you can get him here in Germany or any other European countries. So if you decide on a breed first, then you can basically do a Google search. And there are also these English-speaking pages on Facebook and everywhere, particular to dogs. And
best way would be, of course, through experience. If somebody has a breed, you're walking by, or you see somebody or any of your friends, you can go talk to them. Then you really know that you have a good connection.
Right.
So that will be the best way. Or you can do also internet search and then find some websites where there are home breeders, hobby breeders. So that will be a second best option. Yeah.
So once we landed on some sort of contact online, first thing what we did was to check their reviews. How good are they in taking care of the dogs, and what is their if they have a page, they probably generally also mention what is their business model. So if you start reading that, most of them might not be honest, but once you start reading, you understand it, like okay, maybe this is good, this is bad. That's the first step we took. And then like we understood, if you contact a breeder and he says no, for the moment we don't have any puppies. So the network is as such in Germany that every breeder in the country is connected in a way. So you can always ask them. So if you know any other breeder who is already having a puppy, so I am sure they will have hundreds of contacts whom they can put you through.
Yeah.
So
For example, we were looking for some breeder in Bavaria, and one of our friends who had this, we checked with their breeder. They didn't have, and we got few contacts through them, and none of them had. So we finally ended up in NRW with some breeder. We were ready to travel 10-12 hours,
Just to see him.
yeah. The first step when we go to a breeder is we have to see them and they have to see us. So we both have to like each other, because the way the puppies are brought up is very important. They should be in a very friendly, homely manner. So and they should also feel that okay, we will take care of them very nicely. The first impression always gives you some knowledge about the owners, so that's always there. So we had to travel twice or thrice at least to their place, before getting him.
You won't believe what the breeder from Inave said. That we said that we are ready to travel to Alas.
Yeah.
So like she mentioned, we should visit them for the first time, and for the second time when he's 4 weeks old, to see how he's doing.
Yeah.
And third time is when he's 8 weeks old. That is when we can pick him up.
Yeah,
so
legally
here
in
in
Germany.
Germany, it's legal. It's a rule that you have to let the puppy stay with their mom
Litter,
or dad or the litter for 8 weeks. Only after that we have to pick him up. So it had to be three visits to this breeder who is in Hamburg, and we stay here in Munich. So she was like, no, that's not advisable. Even how
too
much
far.
ever you like the dog, it's not good that you travel 3 times just to pick him up. So she gave us contacts within Bavaria, and we contacted one breeder in Bavaria, and that's where we got him. So they had a puppy, and we were lucky that we got him.
So, again, how expensive was it for you to own the dog?
It depends on the breed totally, and
it can range from 800 euros to 2,500 euros based on what breed, and also the breeder's expenses. I don't think negotiation works here.
Okay, what would be the expenses after you own a dog? So, the insurance or to visit a doctor, the taxes, everything.
So one thing is, it is mandatory to have a liability insurance for a dog. So that might cost somewhere from 80 to at least 80 to 100 euros, and depending on your requirement you can go for a higher one. And food is also again what you give him, or treats based on how much you can spend. But for a medium sized dog which might weigh 10 to 12 kilos, I would say 30 to 40 euros on an average should be fine. And that includes treats. Again, you can make your homemade treats, and then that might be cheaper. It's something we can't specifically say. And the second thing is, when we did research to get a health insurance for dog, what we realized is saving up that money instead of getting an insurance, and when there is an actual need, using up that one would be much better. Because
it's not
so
just
many
our research, but when we visited the doctor for first time, even he proposed saying that it's I don't think you need the health insurance, but whatever you plan to pay to the health insurance every month, just put it aside. And there might be a need only once in a year, or maybe once in 2 years, so you don't end up paying a lot to the insurances. So that's also a good way, but it's always up to you. Even though we say that this is our decision, it's always your feeling which you have to go with.
Correct.
So
by the time
if
you're watching video, maybe there is a change in the system and there is a better insurance, who knows. So so if you visit a doctor, it might cost around 30 to 60 euros minimum for one visit, and that could just be a general visit. So depending on what needs to be done is totally other thing. And these are the basic things. Dog toys, leashes, everything you can buy it on Amazon, or there are a lot of good pet stores you can find in variety of ranges. So in Germany, it is mandatory to pay dog tax. It will be around 100 euros depending on which state you are staying in. Per dog, it is around 100 euros. So if you get an additional dog, there will be more charges for that. And if you don't register and if you don't pay tax, there will be a very hefty fine. So never miss that.
Just to summarize about the expenses. First thing is the liability insurance. You can always check about these insurances on Check24. So you can compare between different providers and what all is included inside that. And the second thing is the dog tax. In Bavaria, like she mentioned, for every dog you need to pay approximately around 100 euros. and for every additional dog it will cost you more than 100. So maybe let's say 120 or 130. I'm not really sure of the numbers because we don't own a second dog yet. So you can always check it on the website. So you will find that. And apart from that, for food, right now we are spending around let's say 20 or 30 euros for him, including his daily food and also the treats, which we also prepare at home, and we also get a few. If you go to the pet stores, you generally can find organic treats for him, which doesn't contain any preservatives or sort of things. That can be a little expensive, but it's always good for your dog. So sometimes we prefer that, sometimes we prefer otherwise. So it all depends on how much you want to spend on your dog.
Also, which one he likes. So sometimes he's very picky. So
Yeah. If you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and thanks a lot. Until next time, bye bye.